5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Weekend confirmed.
Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to Weekend Confirmed Question of the Week. My name is Garnett Lee. If you want to get your questions in, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, just like @PRSGame did, who asks, why do you think bugs in games are becoming more prevalent? Not just minor glitches, but achievement and game-breaking. I think achievement and game-breaking problems. Well, I think there's probably a compound issue here of a couple of things. The first one being, obviously, the real move to everyone expecting that consoles are connected to the internet and that we have that ability to deliver patches all the time. So once you sort of give a developer that in, then everybody starts to rely on it. I guess I should not say developer, but the whole process from, production to publisher to developer and also marketing team, because there's a lot of interest, of course, in when the launch window is for a game. So what happens then is that as this game is approaching, all of these things coming together for the game to have a good launch, there's now a ability to say, hey, well, we can go ahead and send this thing to master because we can add it in on a big day one patch, which of course screws you and me, especially if you don't have internet access. And that's a big problem. That's going to come into play. We're going to talk about in the show today the Catwoman DLC. And not only does that keep part of the game away from players, but it also limits who can get it. If you don't have an internet connection, you cannot get that DLC. Same thing happens with patches here. So I think that what's happened is that there's a tremendous amount of pressure on developers to get games produced in a certain window. There is a multi-million-dollar industry in the marketing and PR of the game. And if that window is missed, so many things start to go off track that they're pushing, and willing to accept, well, you know what, we could patch it. And you did not have that in prior generations of consoles. And it was in fact something that people always bragged about as a benefit of the console cycle, was that, a console game, it's got to be right when you get it. And although there were those exceptions, those games that did ship with really crippling bugs, most of the time, as a general rule, you always got these games that were, hey, it's a finished product. You got the disc, you got the game, you put it in your machine and it played great. It's a shame to have seen some of that mentality erode as a result of what should have been a great thing of us having connected consoles. That's our question of the week. Hope you're joining us on iTunes or wherever you like to get the show for Weekend Confirmed, the podcast, every Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific.